Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. This is my first installment in my Minuteman Settlement series. We will be taking a look at all of my Minuteman settlements in my current playthrough, and we're going to begin with the Red Rocket. This is the Red Rocket outside of Sanctuary near Vault 111, and I thought it was a great location for a scavenging outpost. Basically a repository for all the scrap they find in the local area. Things can be brought here and broken down to their base components or repaired and used, like power armor and vehicles, weapons, and then just used as a supply depot to help support all the Minutemen that are trying to protect the Commonwealth. So let's begin, shall we? So here we are at the front wall that goes against the main road, blocking off the front of the Red Rocket. As you can see, I've used shipping containers with reverse junk fences, kind of break up the textures a little bit. Added a couple of turrets to the top, as well as a guard post. Coming around here, the junk fences continue. You can see it adds a little more of a fortified look to it. And coming off of the junk fences, we have some barrels here, as well as this bus. And I really like using the buses because they work well as rooms, and it does kind of fit the Red Rocket fairly well. As you can see, I've used the reverse junk fences as well as the warehouse walls to kind of fortify the bus, as well as just make it a little more interesting to look at. And at the end of this, that brings us to our main scrapping area. You can see here we have a forklift, and the forklift is used to move larger scrap, as well as, I imagine, to reposition any of the shipping containers, that they get. Plus, it looks really cool. We have some trucks here, which are also guarded by a turret, protecting this entire area, actually. And we have a robot manufacturing area here. So you can see there's a robot workbench inside of a metal shack. Now, I did not create that shack. That idea I got from Davey over at No Respawns. Go ahead and follow his channel if you want to see some really cool stuff. He really does some very creative builds. All right, continuing on with this area, you can see there's a lot of clutter around here, or a fair amount of clutter anyway, along with these two scavenging stations. Protectron right here has definitely seen better days, as well as the Sentry Bot, which is nearly ready for deployment. I don't remember which mod those scavenging stations came from, but if you go ahead and leave a comment asking me about it, I can respond with which ones I use. I just don't remember right now. Sorry about that. What do we got here? So looks like there's some tools as well as some files and components on this other side. You can see the building fits this robot workbench really well. I'm very thrilled with this area, how it turned out. Could use a little bit more junk decoration, but not too much. I don't like to over clutter places. But yeah, so that is the robot construction area. And let's see what else we got here. Back at the front of the outpost, you can see there's a fair amount of power armor staring you down. So this outpost is definitely well protected. We come across here a new guard. I built this guard station using the rug glitch and some of these sandbags, as well as the metal barriers. This mat right here, it's kind of buried, you can barely see it, is a guard station. Came with a mod, and you can see I sunk it down a little bit so you couldn't see it, and that caused the guard here, her feet clip with the ground, but it's not that bad. It doesn't really bother me that much. Here we have some more scrap outside the main building. This truck here is also a scavenging station, and I imagine it's one of the things they're fixing up, and it looks like it's almost ready for deployment. Back here, you can see we have more clutter, shopping cart, and some barrels. A couple components I placed down with OC Decorator. Not a lot. Really could use some more junk decoration here, but just got too excited to show you guys. This area here is the Power Arm Storage and Repair Center. So over this way, you can see we have some power armor frames that are ready to um, have some armor pieces placed on them. A little bit of Vault Tech clutter here. I think that fit pretty well with the power armor area. This is another scavenging station we have here. This guy is repairing some power armor frame. And we have a diagnostic. I love these things. They just look so cool. We have a partially assembled power armor here. Looks like it's not painted yet, the pieces that are on there anyway. And coming around to the center, we have the XO1 power armor, which I imagine would be used by the commander of the outpost or an officer. Over here is our main power armor storage. These are all T60 power armors, and you can see they have a beautiful Minuteman texture on every single one. Look very imposing, and I love the heroic pose that they're all in. That also came from a mod. We have another scavenging station here. This is from Northland Diggers. Just kind of adds a little variety to the scavenging stations you have in the game. You're not always placing the same ones down. You're definitely going to see some repeats, but not as much as as if you didn't have any of the mods. Coming around this corner, we have some workbenches, armor, and weapons, along with some do-it-yourself decoration here. Just adds a little bit more character, I believe. Looks pretty good. Now, we have our first housing area inside the bus we saw the other side of. I really like the buses. They are kind of cramped, but if you use the rug glitch, you can really get a fair amount of stuff in here. I could probably put a little bit more in here, but don't really want to overdo it. You can see here, do-it-yourself, as well as a little OC decorator with the weapons and the ammo I placed down, and a cool little ham radio for communication. So yeah, that is this outdoor area over here. I think next we should check out the building. Here we are at the entrance to the main structure. Come on in. Reception area has Nuka-Cola and, of course, the Minuteman flag. Then this door here leads into the armory. Now, being an outpost, you would expect them to have some weapons. Also, this being a scavenging outpost, they have a more opportunity to find weapons. So there's a large selection on the gun wall there of a couple of miniguns, as well as some mini nukes and ammo, a few magazines. There is supposed to be a fat man on here. I don't know what happened. I'm going to have to figure that out. Here we got some more storage there, as well as a collection of ammunition, all for sale by this merchant here. And you can see that we are currently in lockdown. You can go ahead and open that up. And there you go. Open for business. Not protected, but they can drop that down whenever they need to in order to, better protect themselves. This is what it looks like from the outside. So if you just needed to get in and out quick, you could walk up to the window here and purchase what you need and move on. All right, let's close this back up and move out into the main eating area. Now you can see here we have our places set up. I figure they eat in shifts, being a military outpost. So we have a couple of plates of food there. There's a coffee maker and some fresh water. Coming around here, we have a fridge. This is from Do-It-Yourself as well. Nice and full of all sorts of goodies. And here we have a merchant that can sell you any of the foodstuffs that you might need, or you have your liquor and all that stuff that you're gonna need for your travels. Have some area here to prep some food, as well as some boxed food ready to go. Behind the counter here, you can see some utensils, as well as lunch boxes ready to go for people who just need to grab something quick and head out. Here's another scavenging station. This one here looks like a dishwash sink, so you could wash dishes and whatnot. Settlers will walk up and use it. There is nobody there now, as you can see. Here is the meat preparation area. We have some meats drying, and when they're all done, we can package them up and send them on out to other settlements or to the front lines, depending on how the war with the Brotherhood is going. Here's a chem station with various chems and recipes, I imagine, would be up there, other chemicals used in creation of the chems, and then, of course, a small medical area. So that pretty much brings us to the end of the main building here. Next, I want to show off some of the housing that I've constructed. Here we are in the main housing area. As you can see, I made another courtyard here to match the front courtyard. This one is made with all shipping containers. And I added the wood railings across the top to just kind of break up the texture a little bit, add a little extra height. Makes it not as boring to look at. Here we got a cart with some barrels on it, and look at all those mini nukes. Well, all the raiders better beware. We have plenty of firepower. Here we got some Vault Tech supplies, scavenged from Vault 111, just up the road. And on the other side here are some explosive crates, as well as several crates that have ammunition and weaponry in them. Now we have our first two housing units on this side of the settlement. I really like using the shipping containers for housing as well. They're a little cramped, but again, if you use the rug glitch, you can get stuff in here. And I figure, these guys are probably moving in and out of these places pretty regularly with new assignments and all that stuff. So there's not a lot of personal decoration. There's more propaganda, and then of course, some consumables laying around with a little bit of weaponry, it being a military outpost and all. But I still like to keep it scrappy looking. It is the apocalypse after all, and what would a Fallout game be with if everything was pristine? Get to the top of the wall here, and we have this nice walkway leading to two more housing units. Again, sparsely decorated, but you can see that there is a bed here and definitely plenty of space for one person. Now, most of my housing units have seating on the inside. This one here has a bench on the outside for both of these. Here we go, a little bit more with OC Decorator, and this guy drinks quite a bit, looks like. And protecting your family. Look at that. Now, the other side of this walkway has one more housing unit, and it's a little private, so I imagine this is where the commander of the outpost would be. Has a little private cooking area here. Take his meals away from the troops, clear his head. And inside this container here is his quarters. So we have some weaponry on the wall, private seating, a little bit of booze, and some noodles. And of course, order is safety. Look at that view. It's quite a bit foggy right now, but you can see into Concord from here, which is kind of nice. So that is the main housing area. And this is probably the largest collection of different textures in this build. I really like the way that makes the wall look kind of cobbled together, a little scrappy. And yeah, really enjoy that. And there goes one of the Minutemen. The nice thing about having everyone assigned as a scrapper or a scavenger, sorry, is that they patrol around with their guns drawn. So it just kind of adds to the feel of this being a military installation. Now, the thing I want to show you guys is this trailer. So I imagine that, the Minutemen are scavenging around and they, find fusion reactors and whatnot. and they are able to repair them, get them up and running. Then they load them in these trailers. They're able to hook the trailers up to trucks and take them to whatever settlement might need electricity. You drop it down, hook up your stuff, and boom, instant electricity for that settlement. And if they ever have to evacuate or, have to leave, somehow have to abandon the settlement for some reason, they can hook up one of these trailers to the truck, take it to a different settlement, and yeah, I just thought that was kind of a neat idea. I'm going to have to decorate in here a little bit. It's not looking the greatest, but I just wanted to show you. I don't know what do you guys think. Let me know if it's if you think it's a cool idea or how to make this better. So that there is basically the Red Rocket Settlement. I don't think I missed anything. Um, Overall, I think it's a pretty decent scavenging outpost. And yeah, if you guys like this video, please leave a like. If you have any questions for me or you think I could have done something better, please, leave a comment down in the comment section below. I will read all of them and reply to them as I can. And again, thank you for watching, and I hope this was entertaining for you. It was definitely entertaining for me to make. So, have a nice day and enjoy your time in the Commonwealth.